Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is titled, I found out my wife has been cheating with her coworker for several months. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Let's get right into it. I very recently, just last night, found out that my wife has been cheating on me for several months with a male coworker of hers. We have been together for roughly 13 years and married for 8 of them. I am devastated to say the least. There were a few signs that our relationship was struggling a little, but I chalked it up to simply stress from our jobs and from house hunting, which we have been doing for more than 6 months. Apparently, I was not listening to her and had a bad attitude towards her work schedule, working over, traveling. She would often travel frequently for work, which I understood but didn't like to some extent, as it made me feel as though we were having less time together and drifting apart. She told me she had cheated because she was able to confide in her colleague, also married, about work-related matters, and they made an emotional connection. She had met with him at various hotels in the area 3 times over the past 2 months. The latest meeting, just last week, she claims was their last, as they both knew it was wrong and that she was done with him. My good friend had just recently found his wife cheating, and my wife said that caused her to realize what she was doing. My thought is that she got caught and trying to make things seem less severe. I'm 100% sure that if I didn't catch her, we would have bought a home together and she would likely still be cheating on me. My main problem with her reasoning is that I felt as though I checked in with her from time to time to make sure there weren't any issues, as sometimes she would be in an unengaging mood. We didn't argue very often at all, and we were having intercourse at least 2 times a week on average, which was admittedly down from 3 to 4 times in the past. I thought the reason behind the slight decline is because of our busy schedules, house hunting, working, and keeping up with the household. She never mentioned being dissatisfied with our conversations, and frankly I thought that we had a great dialogue. We often went and did activities together like hiking, going out to dinner, etc. Admittedly, I could have made a better effort to take her on dates and be more spontaneous. I suppose I'll never know. The one growing concern I had was her secretiveness with her phone, which proved to be right. Ironically, the cheating didn't occur during her work travel, but rather when I was out of town or during the week she would call in sick and get a hotel room. I didn't know about the hotel because she has used her rewards points for the stay, and I didn't access those accounts. Even worse yet, we are under contract to buy a house we had found. Luckily, I had caught this sooner and will be able to back out of the sale as we were in an inspection period. Otherwise, she would have let the sale go through and would be stuck selling a house probably within the following year. I have a small business that I was planning on moving into the building that came with the new home. My lease is up in my commercial space, and frankly, I can't afford to continue to operate out of there. I have been in the process of developing my business products for sale, and have been relying on her income and benefits. We never had any issues with money and were secure in that regard. So now I need to find a storage unit for my equipment and move it. And since I run a small business and don't have a regular steady paycheck, apartment rentals are tough to get without one. I'll need to find employment so that I can find a place to live. We also have a dog that we have to figure out custody for, but it may end up that she keeps him, which is going to break my heart. And you've probably inferred I'm going to be filing for divorce right away. We've already discussed asset splitting, and luckily we have no debt and no kids. I'm guessing by her lack of willingness to cut her work trip short and talk face to face, she is and has been done with the relationship. If I were in the same shoes, I would say there was a family emergency and I had to get back home. Of course, I'm blaming myself to some extent. But overall, I help with the chores around the house, keep myself clean and nice looking, and I'm in a fairly good shape. I thought I was satisfying my wife in the bedroom as well, based on the steady amount of climaxes. Bottom line, I thought my wife would be the absolute last person in the world to cheat. I trusted her implicitly, and I felt like we had open communication in our relationship. She effed some meathead from work, who she of course won't name. And I just found out last night while she was traveling for business. I confronted her and she said it was over, but I know better. And the first comment says, "You're handling this all great. One thing, have you told the OM's wife? She deserves to know as soon as possible." And the OP replied, "She will not give me the name of the guy, so I have no way of doing so. It is Essie, to say the least." And another commenter says, "You can find out by just asking her. Annoy her if you have to, and ask again and again. It hurts to know that someone you cared about is cheating on you." And another commenter says, "You're doing great, man. Keep this momentum going, and when everything is settled, cut her out of your life, no contact info, no pictures. Get rid of everything that reminds you of her, and go find a great woman who will love and appreciate you. And she didn't even say sorry, so you're right. She's clearly done with the relationship, so I'm glad you were in your P's and Q's and not trying to reconcile this dumpster fire." And another commenter says, "Call records and her phone." And the OP replied, "Just as an update, the other man's wife is aware of the situation. He was caught texting my wife." And another commenter says, "Ask her to tell you again, or you will find out by yourself, and that's going to be a bit of a mess. Also, don't blow it up at her work yet. Talk to a lawyer, even if you aren't sure what direction you're heading in." And the next comment says, "Nothing you did caused her to cheat. Nothing. Her mental health issues and lack of age-appropriate boundaries caused her to cheat. She's a cheater, and even if you were perfect, she would still be a cheater. Do not blame yourself. Let her go. No kids. Cut her off emotionally. Go no contact except through lawyers to sever financial ties and finalize your divorce. She's not who you thought she was. The fact that she's shifting blame to you says that reconciling is not an option. She's willing to burden you with the pain of her actions and her choice to betray you. She doesn't even want to take on some of that pain now. She wants to give it all to you by making you think it's your fault she's a slimy person. She prioritized her pleasure over your marriage, period. That isn't someone you need in your life. I'm sorry you're going through this. Tell friends and family that you can lean on. Stop caring what your ex wants or does. If she decides to be sorry, use that to go get a favorable divorce settlement and be done with her." Another commenter says, "Ask your attorney about temporary spousal support for you as you work on your income-generating business. With the income disparity and the length of your marriage, you would likely be entitled to something. Divorce is business, and the way your marriage ended suggests that is the way you should treat it." And another commenter says, "That's how it should be looked at. My ex-wife would guilt trip me saying no real man would do that, blah blah blah. Just like business partners, if one backs out without giving proper notice, one will owe the other." Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, and be sure to comment below what other subreddits you want me to cover.